Have you ever noticed how some people don't raise their voice, don't slam the table, don't even say much, yet the entire room falls silent and every eye turns toward them? Meanwhile, others shout, argue, defend themselves endlessly, but no one truly listens. Why? What makes the difference? It's not IQ. It's not a diploma. It's not fame or titles. It's something rarer, sharper, and far more dangerous. Machiavelli called it dark intelligence, a kind of silent power, unseen, unspoken, but strong enough to shift the entire balance of a room, or even an empire. And once you begin to understand it, once you start training it, you'll never see people, or the world, the same way again. So stay with me until the end, because in this video, you'll discover how to awaken that power for yourself. And if you find value here, consider subscribing, so you never miss the next lesson that could change everything. Part 1. Understanding dark intelligence. We often confuse intelligence with test scores, with quick math skills, with polished speeches. But Machiavelli didn't care about that. He lived in a world of courts, conspiracies, and power struggles, where the sharpest mind wasn't the one who knew the most facts, but the one who could read people the fastest, the one who could sense a hidden weakness in a single glance, the one who could stay calm while others lost control, the one who never allowed emotions to dictate the game. This is what he called dark intelligence. Picture it like the fox in his famous metaphor. The lion roars loud, brutal, obvious. But the fox waits. It advances only when the path is clear. It retreats when retreat is wisdom. And most of all, it never reveals its full hand. That is dark intelligence. Here's the truth. You won't find it in classrooms. You won't get it from a certificate. It's not taught in seminars. Dark intelligence is forged in silence. It's built through long hours of observation, through learning to listen, not just to words, but to pauses, to gestures, to the tremor in someone's voice. It's the ability to watch without reacting, to collect data without revealing your position, to master yourself long before you attempt to master anyone else. And when someone carries this kind of intelligence, you feel it. Even if they say nothing, even if they don't move, their presence alone presses against you like an invisible weight. This is why Machiavelli admired it. Not because it shines in public, but because it dominates in the shadows. And the Stoics understood the same law of power. Epictetus once said, "The wise man does not argue about what lies beyond his control. He trains himself only in what is his." That is dark intelligence in its purest form. It begins not with conquering others, but with conquering the battlefield inside your own mind. So, when you hear the words dangerous intelligence, don't think of someone with the highest IQ. Think of the one who stays calm when others panic. Think of the one who says little but sees everything. That is the rarest power of all. Part 2 to 5 traits of dangerously intelligent people. There are 5 traits, 5 silent weapons that separate ordinary intelligence from what Machiavelli called dangerous intelligence. And if you learn them, if you live them, people will never see you the same way again. Let's begin. 1. Emotional disconnection. The first and most vital trait. You are no longer dragged by anger, by fear, or by pain. When you are insulted, you don't react. When you are attacked, you don't explain. When you fail, you don't collapse into tears. Instead, you watch your emotions like a scientist studying patterns. Anger appears, you note it. This is data. Sadness rises, you log it. This is a signal. You don't deny emotions, you simply refuse to let them dictate action. Picture a heated negotiation. Your opponent provokes you loud voice, sharp words, hoping to break your frame. Most people flush red, raise their voice, and fire back immediately. But you? If you've trained emotional disconnection, you simply smile. You remain silent, you observe. And in that silence, they begin to unravel. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are troubled, remember, it is your own judgment that disturbs you. For no one else has the power to touch your mind." This is what unnerves people about you. Not rage, not volume, but a calmness so cold it feels untouchable. 2. Surgical observation. The second trait, you stop taking people at face value. You no longer believe words alone. You study eyes, hands, hesitation, silence. A lie often comes with a quick blink. Insecurity often hides behind loud, exaggerated speech. Manipulators often laugh when nothing is funny. You dissect behavior like a surgeon with a scalpel. Others may need 10 sentences. You need only one glance. Seneca warned us, "Don't trust promises, look at habits, for habits are the truest confessions of the soul." Imagine a colleague. They laugh with the boss, flatter endlessly. But when the boss leaves the room, their mask slips, they mock, they sneer. You don't need evidence, you already know. Sooner or later, they will betray. And when they do, you are not surprised. This is dark intelligence, moving 5 seconds faster, 5 steps ahead, because you see what others cannot even admit about themselves. 3. Controlled presence. The third trait, you stop trying to be everywhere. Instead, your absence becomes your weapon. Ordinary people scramble for attention. They speak often, they seek approval, they try to impress. The dangerously intelligent, they appear only when necessary. And every time they do, the room changes. Your presence carries mystery. People whisper, "What is he thinking? What will she do?" That uncertainty becomes power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not strive to be remembered. Live so that when you are gone, your absence is still felt." Think of a Roman general. He doesn't attend every meeting. He doesn't weigh in on every debate. But in the moment of crisis, he steps into the hall, and instantly the chatter dies. That is the power of rarity. 4. Strategic speech. The fourth trait, you never speak to fill silence. Every word is deliberate, every sentence an arrow. Your speech plants ideas. Your questions uncover secrets. Your pauses create pressure. You don't convince people by force. You lead them so they end up convincing themselves. Epictetus taught his students, "Keep silence more than you speak, and when you speak, let your words be worth more than gold." Consider the man accused unfairly. Most will argue endlessly, desperate to clear their name. But the dangerously intelligent? He simply leans forward and whispers, "Are you certain of that?" Then silence. And suddenly, the burden of proof shifts. The accuser begins to sweat. This is why your words terrify people, because you use them rarely and surgically. 5. Unshakable self-reliance. The final trait, the root from which all the others grow. You no longer need praise. You no longer need recognition. You no longer need to be understood. You become your own source of power. Seneca wrote, "The wealthiest man is the one content with himself." Marcus Aurelius said, "Build yourself a fortress in your mind. No enemy can breach it." When you stop craving applause, you become immune to flattery. When you stop fearing loss, you become free from manipulation. When you stop relying on the crowd, you become untouchable. Imagine a businessman who loses everything. Others break down, humiliated. He stands calm and says, "I lost the money, but I still have the mind that created it, and I will do it again." That is unshakable self-reliance. A man or woman who needs nothing cannot be controlled by anything. Part 3. How to apply dark intelligence in daily life. So how do you apply this in daily life? How do you turn dark intelligence from an idea into a way of moving through the world? Let's begin with communication. Most people talk too much. They believe that words will win them respect. But the dangerously intelligent know every extra word is a risk. Don't speak to impress. Instead, ask questions. Each question is a blade, slicing through the masks that people wear. You don't argue. You uncover. You don't push. You reveal. Now, what about conflict? The instinct of the crowd is to defend, to explain, to shout louder. But the one who holds true power does the opposite. You remain silent. Your stillness makes them uneasy. They begin to over-explain. They stumble into their own mistakes. And the silence you carry weighs more than any insult they could throw. In work, the application is simple but profound. Stop being predictable. Show people only 60% of who you are. Keep the other 40 locked in the shadows. This unpredictability forces them to underestimate you, and in underestimation, you gain advantage. They prepare for the version of you they think they know, but you always hold more than they can see. And finally, relationships. This is where most people surrender all of their power. They beg, they plead, they argue, desperate to be understood. But emotions are a trap. Never let them turn you into a hostage. If you are disrespected, do not explain. Do not chase. Withdraw. Because absence is the most haunting form of punishment. A silence that lingers far longer than words. Dark intelligence is not abstract philosophy. It is practical. It is a way of carrying yourself. In conversations, in conflict, in work, and in love. And when you live this way, people will feel it. They won't always be able to explain it, but they'll know deep down that you are not someone they can manipulate. Part 4. The Stoic Perspective. Now let's bring in the wisdom of the Stoics. Because long before Machiavelli spoke of power, the Stoics had already mastered the art of inner control. Epictetus taught one of the most powerful distinctions in philosophy. Some things are within your control, and others are not. Your reactions, your choices, your discipline, these are yours. The opinions, the words, the actions of others, these belong to them. The dangerously intelligent know this truth. They never waste energy trying to control the uncontrollable. Instead, they master their own mind, and by doing so, they quietly master the game. Seneca reminds us of a second lesson. Happiness, he said, never comes from wealth or fame. Those are fragile, temporary. True freedom comes from within. The man who cannot be bribed by pleasure. The man who cannot be enslaved by desire. That man is untouchable. When you no longer need what the world dangles before you, the world can no longer command you. And Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, ruler of Rome itself, he held the final key. The greatest power, he wrote, is a tranquil mind, a mind calm enough to govern an empire, and strong enough to govern itself. Imagine the strength it takes to command armies and nations, yet declare that the highest victory is the battle won within. This is the Stoic perspective. Dark intelligence is not just strategy. It is the echo of Stoicism, a philosophy where the most dangerous person in the room is the one who has mastered themselves. Part 5. Transforming yourself into someone dangerous. Transformation does not begin with noise. It begins with discipline and with silence. So let's break it down into 4 practices that, if you live them daily, will turn you into someone others cannot control. 1. Train silence. Every day, choose one situation where you normally react, and instead, hold your tongue. When someone provokes you, resist the instinct to fire back. When you feel the urge to defend yourself, resist the impulse to explain. Stay silent. Observe, and watch how silence unsettles the other person more than anger ever could. They begin to reveal themselves while you remain untouchable. 2. Keep an emotional journal. Write down your anger. Write down your fear. Write down your sadness. not as judgments, but as data. You are the scientist. Your mind is the experiment. When you start seeing emotions as information instead of orders, you gain freedom. Because you are no longer reacting blindly, you are analyzing, choosing, and directing. 3. Reduce your need for recognition. The more you crave applause, the more easily you can be manipulated. So practice refusing. Decline invitations that add no value. Work in silence. Stop broadcasting every move online. The goal is not to be seen. The goal is to become undeniable. Let your results, not your announcements, carry the weight. 4. Learn to hide in plain sight. Never reveal your full hand. Never share your entire plan. Show people just enough to keep them guessing, but keep the rest in the shadows. Because when the results arrive, they won't just surprise people. They will overwhelm them. This is how transformation happens. Not through noise, but through quiet discipline. Not by trying to look powerful, but by silently building the kind of power that needs no explanation. This is how you become dangerous. By mastering silence. By mastering yourself. Until silence itself becomes your greatest weapon. Conclusion. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need the world's approval to be unshakable. All you need is a mind detached from emotion, eyes that observe with precision, a presence that carries mystery, words that strike with intention, and a spirit that depends on nothing. When you live this way, you stop chasing. Instead, life begins to move toward you. If you're ready for that journey, drop a simple comment. I choose control. And if this message spoke to you, consider liking the video and subscribing to the Stoic Habit so you never miss the next lesson that could reshape the way you see yourself and the world.